Thanks, Riaz. Good morning. The Kitsilano Coast Guard station is empty this hour. Despite heavy criticism, the feds have followed through on a very unpopular decision. Greg Harper joins us live from Richmond with more on how Vancouver must now deal with potential emergencies on inner-city waterways. Greg.
Jody, we're here at the Sea Island Coast Guard base, which is here in Richmond. There were 12 full-time employees that worked at the Kitsilano Coast Guard base. 11 of them have been reassigned throughout the region. One decided to retire. It was a surprise decision by the federal government yesterday to shut the base down. Everyone knew it was coming. They just didn't think it was going to be yesterday. It did happen at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The Conservative government announced last month it would move its auxiliary station in Indian Arm to a new location under the Second Narrows Bridge. Plus, a new rescue boat will be put in place off Stanley Park and be in operation in May. But critics say the closure of the Kits base is going to amount to longer response times, putting lives in danger.
It was a surprise move, so nobody was aware whatsoever. There was no heads up, no courtesy call, nothing.
The City of Vancouver has more Coast Guard resources than any other city in the country. We are still #1, even with the changes at Kitsilano. And I think that people of British Columbia need to understand that our government would never make changes to the regime that is in place in order to protect the public that would in any way jeopardize the safety of the public.
What's interesting here is the base here in Richmond is larger than the one in Kits. But the one in Kits, they responded to about 300 emergency calls a year. At this one, they respond to about 250 calls a year. Likely those calls are going to go up. The decision by the federal government to close the Kits base is saving the Coast Guard about $700,000 a year. Jody? Thanks
very much. Greg Harper reporting live for us this morning. The search for a Vancouver woman has ended tragically in Los Angeles. Elisa Lam's body was discovered and pulled from a water tank on top the Cecil Hotel last night. It's unclear how her body got there or how she died. Lam was staying at the hotel and was last seen there January 31st. The 21-year-old was spotted on surveillance cameras acting abnormally in an elevator, appearing to hide and gesture to someone. Lam arrived in LA on January 26 while traveling through California by herself. Police in South Africa say they've found 2 boxes of testosterone and needles in Olympian Oscar Pistorius' bedroom. But the 26-year-old's lawyer says the drug was an herbal remedy and not a banned substance. Pistorius is charged with premeditated murder in the Valentine's Day shooting of his girlfriend at his home. He says it was an accident. Meanwhile, a detective has also testified Pistorius is a flight risk. The bail hearing will continue tomorrow. BC has a balanced budget this morning, but it comes at a cost. Tax increases have helped the government get the books back to the black.
Getting things right has meant a lot of tough decisions, but this is not the time to turn our backs on the discipline that has helped us through the worst of the economic downturn.
Let's break it down for you a little bit. British Columbians making more than $150,000 a year will pay an extra 2% the next 2 years. The corporate tax rate is going up 1% to 11%. MSP premiums will rise 4% next January. Smoking gets more expensive in October with an extra $2 per carton, and the government is selling some of its properties in hopes of making more than $500 million. The budget also includes initiatives for families. A one-time $1,200 educational grant is being offered for children born in 2007 and later, and an early childhood tax credit is being given to families with children under the age of 6. There are 2 separate recalls to tell you about today by 2 of Canada's largest grocers. Safeway is recalling a variety of frozen beef burgers that may be contaminated with E. coli bacteria. The products were sold in Safeway stores from Ontario to BC and in Northwest Territories, and all had a best before date of August 14th. And Loblaw, the parent company of Extra Foods, Superstore, and No Frills, is advising people not to eat certain salsa products because they may contain pieces of plastic. The recall affects PC white corn black bean mild salsa and PC mild salsa. All right, let's lighten the mood significantly as we check out some adorable video from the Oregon Zoo. This little guy is no NBA star, but he definitely knows how to dunk. His name is Eddie. He's a sea otter at the Oregon Zoo. Eddie is turning the ripe old age of 16 this year, and zookeepers say he suffers from arthritis in his elbows. They taught him to dunk last year as a way to exercise his joints. I don't know, we could win the slam dunk competition All-Star game next year.